Something very strange is going on in a mansion that was abandoned somewhere around 2016. The Greek owner of the abandoned mansion, left frozen in time, is a man of mystery, and he left bundles of cash laying around, according to his family. Tycoon Athanasios Takminidis, sorry if I mutilated that, age 70. They called him Thanos or Thanos. Had a lifestyle from property investments, and the neighbors would see him coming and going until they noticed that the house had been abandoned. Now, he left a car, multiple cars there actually, just abandoned, just left them there. The walls and the ceilings decayed, and the ceiling started to cave in. There were signs in the house that it had been occupied, and quite a few valuables were left, and it's just done. He left and disappeared. His books remain there. He had a pool room, and even the telescope had a vine growing up the window. So where did this man disappear to, or his family? Now, his wife passed away, his wife of 35 years, in 2004. And it's rumored that he never even attended her funeral, saying that he was simply too busy. He had designer clothes that were stacked on the rails in the bedroom. There was a neighbor, Mr. Michael John, told the Sun paper, "I've known him for more than 40 years, and he's always been the same. He liked big houses, flashy cars, the smartest clothes. He's all show. Luxury Mercedes he always drove to impress his family. And when he got back home, he would drive around an old beater." So before he moved into this house in Kings Langley, he lived in a much more impressive mansion near Bournemouth. So Mr. Michael John, a retired patient specialist now living in Carmarthenshire in southwest Wales, said he first met him in the late 70s after he started dating the Greek businesswoman's sister-in-law, Mandy Rees, as she was then named. He was living with his wife Sharon and their young family in St. John's Wood, North London, in a council flat. He added, one night they asked if they could babysit for their young children, and it was time I met them, but Thanos was not very chatty. He never was. And they weren't spending an evening together as a couple, though Sharon was seeing her friends and he was cut off from God knows where. So that night, one of their sons had colic, and Mandy asked me if I'd run into the boys' room and comfort him because he was in a lot of pain. So he went into the bedroom where there was a mantelpiece with more money than he'd ever seen in his life, tens of thousands of banknotes piled up, almost as high to the ceiling. I was aware his father, who had an admin job at the Greek embassy, had a few properties around North London, and I think it's possible Thanos was involved there. So this property is very impressive. It's frozen in time. There's a few people that have gone through it. Everything, as if someone was living there, was just left. There was even a few crusty sandwiches and some cheap wine laying around. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards and see if what we can figure out about this mystery. And I'm going to use a variety of them in order to answer the questions that we might have regarding this. So first, I'm going to ask the cards, what happened to Thanos, if that's how you pronounce his name? What happened to him? What happened to him that he left the house so abruptly? There's the Queen. So we already know that his wife passed away, but it's possible that he went to be with someone else. That is quite possible. because the Queen of Swords shows up instantly. And then he was into real estate. This would be a real estate business and a plan. So evident, and see, the woman is kind of driving this. So it seems like there could almost be an offer for real estate, and he just left. Like someone was making a demand on him and he simply left, except there's more to it because there's the justice. It makes me wonder if he was in some kind of legal trouble. So we'll just keep pulling the cards to see how the story will continue. Wow, we have a lot of women showing up in here. There's another one looking at the situation. What is going on with all the women on this? And a happy family. So it feels like he could have had multiple locations where he lived, and that he simply disappeared to another location. And this is money waiting. It's waiting, and it's building up money, but it's waiting on something. Waiting for something to grow, waiting for your finances to grow. There's a waiting. Oh, he was involved in some corruption there. Either he was, or corruption was happening around him. Did this corruption cause him to have to leave the house quickly? Because it looks like he left quickly. Oh, he was tighter on money. Something happened, because this is somebody who has to be very tight with their money, and they were closing in. Somebody was closing in on him. So maybe he was so far over his head that he just walked away from the property simply because he was so far over his head. So I'm going to ask the Haunted House Tarot, did anything malicious happen to him? Did anything malicious? Now I have to pull another card with this because the Haunted House Tarot deck is a malicious kind of deck, so you don't want to rely fully on it. But we're going to ask if anything suspicious happened to him. See, we're getting a lot of women. We're getting a lot of women in here. And this is very interesting. So I'm going to pull one from my other deck. Did anything suspicious happen in that house to cause him to disappear? This is off the planet. This is the Sun card. Well, this is interesting. I got to pull another one with that, but the scenery on here, he was involved in something high level. Something high level. Maybe it was even like top security or something like that, and he put on just a show of something. But this is the Two of Cups. Oh, okay. And here's the woman. So I think he left to be with someone in a relationship. Okay, I think there was too many women showing up, and then with the relationship card, is this person, is he intending to ever go back to the mansion? Does he intend to ever go back to the mansion? Now this is the waiting, and that does look like a high castle, like a mansion. So, but this is the Two of Wands. It's almost like he feels like he's in the spirit world now, with the Two of Wands. I don't know this. Maybe he's still alive. At any rate, he's on another part of the planet. I mean, he'd be on another, if he is not passed away, he's on another part of the planet. And there's a pausing. That's kind of the waiting card, that he wouldn't come back. Here again, we've got Seven of Swords. Something's deceptive. Something's hidden. Was somebody after him? Was there somebody after him? Yes, that's my yes card. Somebody was after him. What was his financial state when he left? Okay, so he owned a lot of property. So he was property rich, but maybe money poor, because that's the property rich. Yeah, here's legal troubles. The justice. So he got himself into some kind of, also some legal issues or troubles, if you want to call it. And there's that Queen of Swords showing up again. Somebody was after him and angry. Wow. So what is going to become of the mansion then? What's going to happen with the mansion? What's going to happen with the mansion? Page of Pentacles. So this be somebody young, somebody younger. This can be the child card, but it can also be somebody much younger is going to come and take over it. Maybe even from another country. Two of Wands. This is again is another part of the world. So I think somebody might take that over that's not even from that country that it's in. It's somebody from another part of the world is going to take it over. And I also want to ask, here's the Queen again, another woman. Is it going to be public knowledge as to what happened to this person? Is it ever going to be made public knowledge as to whatever happened to this man that disappeared and left his mansion? Is it going to be public knowledge what happened to him? Is the public going to find out? The Wheel. So this is in time, but it's a long time because the Wheel, as far as time, is a major arcana, and that can be a long time. And Death and Two of Swords. So probably not for a very long time. A long, long time. Is there some reason that they are keeping this a secret? Is there some reason that the family, because he had children, I believe he had Alexis or something, 43, Nicholas 41, Paul 36, Christiana 34, and Alicia 28. I believe those were his children. Let's just see if we can get a few more details about this. Everybody's being quiet, and there's the castle in the background. So I don't even think the children know fully. And I'm just going to flat out ask, was he involved in some high-level secret operation? Was he involved in some high-level secret operation? Was he involved? Here we go. Money. He was involved with money and everything to do with growing wealth. Growing wealth. So he had a lot of affiliations around wealth. Oh yeah, Knight of Pentacles. There you go. That's all money and property. Whoa, then we got that card again. And secret deals. He had a lot of secret deals around money and property. So I want to know what will happen to this property. What is going to ultimately happen to the property, to the mansion? Someone's going to come along and remodel it, but that's going to be a while, and I think that's going to be a while. So I think it's going to eventually, it could be many, many years before somebody comes along and does a remodel on it. And it does look like this is the Five of Cups, so it is potential that either he is ill, that man is now ill, and probably this is the sickness card. It's also the hidden card. I just think that mansion's going to be abandoned for a long time. I think he left because he was in legal trouble. The justice card has come up a couple times, and this is legal issues. So I think that I don't know that anything suspicious happened here other than he was involved in some secret deals and most likely just took off and left, didn't have an attachment to any of the property there, and simply left. So this was a very interesting mystery to look at because a lot of people are questioning, why this is just being allowed to the ceiling to drop in. But I feel like with the Justice card coming up so much, there's a bunch of legal issues around this place. So this was very interesting. I don't think that he was like kidnapped and something like that, but I do believe that he was into something secret deals, high level, and I think that he possibly got himself into a financial situation. So that's going to be my take on it. Thanks for joining my channel.